I'm a very emotional person and being, but I'll kind of table that a little, step back and look at the whole picture and say, okay, yes, I love being around this person. Yes, we have a lot of fun in the moment. Yes, this is date 3 that we're finishing here, but let's look at how the communication's been over the last, few weeks. Let's look at how many times he's canceled plans and wants to reschedule.
Setting the record straight on dating apps. Everyday people telling everyday stories of the swipe right world with your host, Chaos.
Well, I know he had a good time.
About a year into the show, so we're checking in on people. We're making sure, hey, still alive, haven't thrown stuff at the wall or haven't stopped dating or anything. So I just want to check in. One, you're alive, it looks like, healthy, wonderful, still beautiful, still looking amazing. How's it been going?
It's been going really well. I would say things have definitely gone upward since the polygamist experience.
I hope so. I hope so. If we were down from there, we would have had to hug it out.
It can't get much worse, right? But honestly, that experience brought me so many great new friends. And so I'm so grateful for them. They've served as a great network and just kind of think tank. I even, just before this call, was on a call with one of my friends from that connection and, getting her opinion on something on a man that I've gone on a few dates with.
Really?
And she's helping me navigate, like the response and what I should be thinking about and what I should be, saying. And so that's fun. It's fun. And, ever since we checked in last, I have still been dating. I think I talked about this where I had the intentional dating period set in my phone.
Yeah.
Where I did some of that. And I had a whole Mantrix kind of process worked out where I really went all in and I treated it with some real effort because I think I mentioned this before too. I feel that you get out of dating what you put in. And so if I want somebody to show up for me, that's going to communicate and make time and put in the effort, their willingness needs to be greater than their wanting to, right? And I'm looking for that. And so I would say I've been more successful with meeting people that are kind of on that wavelength. And it's much easier now to identify those that the connection isn't there or that maybe we have misaligned interests or values. So it's been a lot of fun. I did use this summer to intentionally date and I'll be winding down in a little bit if I don't, connect with somebody that I like.
What does intentionally date look like? I mean, what's different than that than, I don't know, just letting your freak flag fly or whatever? I don't know what other alternative there is.
Yeah. No, intentionally dating, I'm referring to online dating, basically, for me, the intentional dating. And if you meet somebody in the wild, let's say at the gym or at the grocery store, that's okay. I will continue to push myself outside of my comfort zone as far as approaching someone or introducing myself or just talking to people. I've done some traveling solo in the last few months. And so all of that stuff I want to continue. And so that's still on the table. But when I mean intentional dating, I'm talking about using the apps and just being really aware of burnout. And I'll tell you just one real quick one. This one's funny.
Yeah, please do.
On a date, this is an example. I was on a date and this man was telling me about a woman that he went, he's like, oh yeah, I'm divorced. And mind you, he's like 50. Okay. He's like, I'm divorced. I have a daughter. She's 18 and I love, rock climbing. He's like, I have this friend I'm going to hang out with next weekend. She's 22, and we kind of go rock climbing together and she's just my buddy. And, we're going to go see a concert together. And I'm listening to him talk to me about his buddy who's 22 and, is not, not dating anyone and she's single and, they're just good friends. I'm like, that's kind of a red flag, right? Yeah. So I'll share stuff like that on my first date update. And I'll just say, weigh in here, ladies. If that was something someone shared with you, is that a red flag? Yes or no? So we'll talk about some of that stuff. And then awesome. What I do then is I take those live videos, I download them to my phone and I put them together in a reel and I'll add stickers and emojis and polls. And I have them in a collection on my page of all of the first dates that I've gone on. And I have quite a few right now, Chris.
Yeah, yeah, I bet you have. Look, they're very cute. The reels are very cute with the emojis and stuff in there. They're like some animation will pop up and it makes me laugh. I want to go back to when the guy found out that you were first date update. How did you feel? Were you like, oh shit, I don't want this dude to think I'm putting him on blast or anything like
Yeah,
that? Is that how you felt? Yeah. The reason
absolutely.
the reason I ask, and I don't mean to interrupt, is because when I've matched with people in the past and they've seen that I do this show, they think I am just trying to match up with them to put them on blast on the
Mhm.
show. And they like a couple of people have legit said, hey, I think something's up and I don't want to talk to you. And I've been like, oh shit. So when you said that, I was like, oh, I know where this is going. Oh shit. And
Yeah,
damn, I was like, holy cow.
it's
Um,
it definitely is. I can see from your perspective how that's a challenge too. And I think in the past, I would enter each situation with the goal or the hope that it's going to turn into a lasting relationship. And I would start to almost imagine myself dating that person. What would it be like if this was my boyfriend, or if this person met my kids, or if we, how would we? I mean, I wouldn't really go, I don't know if marriage is necessarily something I'm looking for at this point in my life, but I would go there in my brain and I would think,
yeah.
long term. And now I've reframed it and I enter these experiences with, let's just focus on this experience. Let's
There you
take
go.
it for just this. It is one dinner, it is one coffee, it is one workout, one rock climb, whatever it might be. That's it. That's all I need to focus on. And then I get to sit back and I get to really ask myself, how did it feel being with this person? Did we connect? Did we have a connection? Do I want to see this person again? Those are my questions that I ask myself now. And I kind of just do that live with my online community.
So I've always said, no, I shouldn't say always since I've been doing the show, at least experiences over expectations. And that
Mhm.
sounds like where you've gone from. You've gone from maybe not an expectation of marrying this person, but a visualization of seeing it, which sometimes that can manifest itself into expectation. Maybe I don't know,
Mhm.
but then you're like, okay, forget that. Let's step back, and now you're just going to go, all right, experience, and then you assess the experience too, which sounds like it is so. My opinion, you can tell me to go fuck myself because I'm getting that a lot today anyway. That just sounds so much healthier too and happier.
Yes, I think it's much healthier. And I can even share an example. I think before, when I was doing this, I led with such emotion and I got so wrapped up in, oh, but my feelings for this person. I just know that if he was feeling it too, it'd be so great. He'd be so
Yeah.
perfect. If only, and now I try to kind of step back. I don't want to say that I'm callous or not emotional. I still have I'm a very emotional person and being, but I'll kind of table that a little, step back and look at the whole picture and say, okay, yes, I love being around this person. Yes, we have a lot of fun in the moment. Yes, this is date 3 that we're finishing here, but let's look at how the communication's been over the last, few weeks. Let's look
Right.
at how many times he's canceled plans and wants to reschedule. Let's look at all those things, because
Yeah.
what are those things telling me? Let's take out of it that emotional body for just a second and really look at some of those bigger picture, things that are important.
I love that, because the question I was going to ask you is not that if you already answered it pretty much. It's not that you're not emotional about anything, maybe desensitized about some of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel a little bit I think of all right, so when we first talked, you mentioned coming out of a divorce at one point, wondering if you still had it anymore, like going through the evolution of then to now. Like, how much growth do you think you've had from then to now? Personal growth.
Gosh, it's been incredible, the amount of growth.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really has. Um, I'm not even close to being the same person. I actually had this conversation today with a girlfriend of mine. I think that when I first started dating after divorce, I got so wrapped up in wanting people to like me,
Mhm.
and I believed I really believed that, for example, if somebody was intimate with me, that meant they really liked me,
Sure. Sure.
and I just didn't understand how the app world worked. I didn't understand that people use them as a means to an end, and their end wasn't the same as mine, you know? And so I think, like I've said, I think the process of kind of going through some of that heartbreak and that hurt has really shown me that, you know, there's a lot of growth that can happen. Going slow really is the key, and being clear on my own values and boundaries and expectations from the get-go will help eliminate a lot of that, you know, attachment. I call it artificial attachment, like getting attached to somebody way too soon when it's not really a real connection. You know, I did that so much in my first year of dating, and that won't happen ever again. That's why I have a lot of first dates, but not a lot of second dates, you know? And here's the other thing about that. I was at the gym the other night, and I have a friend that I train with sometimes, and he's not single. He's not in the dating world, but he has an opinion. And so I was sharing with him, and he said, well, why are you even doing this right now when you're so restricted? Like, you know, he didn't get it. He said, isn't that kind of annoying for the guys that you're dating? And I said, well, no, it really helps me kind of figure out pretty quickly who might be a great match for me, because this is a part of my life and it's who I am. And I'm looking for somebody that's going to support me. And he said, yeah, but you know, going on a date, first date, like you really, you know, alcohol kind of helps relax you a little bit. It helps your true personality come out. And I said, I actually look at it the complete opposite way.
Yes.
I feel that when I am not drinking alcohol, I'm able to be my true self without any sort of, altercation to my personality. And I think people can see the real me without that. And I get to see the other person a little bit more clearly too. So, and I don't require anybody that I'm dating to not drink if I'm with them. But I find that 90% of the people that I've dated this summer will match me with that. And they'll say, oh, that's cool. You know, I'll do this with you too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'd like to know that they don't need to do it. Like whether they can or they can. I'd like to know, hey, if we're going to go hang out, I'd like to know that tonight you're not going to do it and still have a good time and enjoy yourself. Your life doesn't revolve on, I'm going to this bar or this bar. It's going to revolve, I'd like to go rock climbing, or I'd like to be active in these areas. Like these are the things that are important to me, not the, how many growlers I can put back tonight.
Yeah. And it's a lot more cost effective, right? I had a guy the other night say, man, you're a cheap date. And I was like, I sure am. I can't eat anything. I can't drink. I think I had a green tea, so I have no problem letting him pick up the tab because I know that I'm not costing him anything. And, another date I had, we went to the gym and we worked out, and then we grabbed an iced coffee. And to me, that's something that I would do on a typical Saturday. So I experience those things with someone, the things that I would do normally.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think we have kind of me doing this show, you doing your own show. I mean, it really is. It's your own show. We have a lot of parallels. Like there's definitely been just take us, for instance. We met because you told me a situation, but now I feel like, there's plenty of times we could just, hey, how you doing? I'm good. All right. Have a good, like you all of a sudden become more than just what the interaction is. And that's what's happening to you and those people. And those people are identifying and you're helping and they're going, wow, this is great. You're a voice. Like I can help do these things as well. I do those, and they just identify. It's a really cool feeling.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoying it. And I think that the point that you're making me think of in that, and I'm sorry, there's a dog walking by. So let me.
He's got to make an appearance.
Take a sip of whatever you're drinking. We have a pause here in the show. I think the thing that I just thought of. Sorry. Let's just give it a second here.
You're just fine. He's doing. I can't even really hear.
Like what the Great Pyrenees is like, you guys, in case anybody was wondering.
The beauty is the Zoom has a lot of noise cancellation filters, so what you can hear, we can barely hear. So you're
okay, good. That's great. I was going to say, on that vein of confidence and just connection and community, it's really helped me kind of grow as an individual person too. And I think of it as kind of like legs under a table, where I have all of these things going and I have the confidence now to kind of go out there, put myself out there because I have the support of these other people in my life. I'm growing my friendship circle. I'm really focused on my business because in a way, my first date update page is kind of helping me with that too. Kind of like what we were talking about a little bit before with like what I do for a living and helping people through coaching and that kind of thing. So I'm developing all of these other areas of my life simultaneously while working on dating. And so when that rejection happens, or when somebody says you're not for me, or I say that, someone else isn't for me, that all stings. But it's kind of like one of those legs cracking a little bit, but you have all of the other ones there still holding the table up. It's not all going to fall like a house of cards. You know what I mean?
6 months ago, you feel like it might have fallen like a house of cards.
Oh my gosh, someone would have gone boo, and I would have gone, and I would just fallen right over because I was so broken after divorce. I was so, like I said before, I was so hungry to be liked and to have validation. And I just and I knew in my soul, like, I'm a good person. I know somebody will love me. And, I think I just went out there and just assumed it would happen just like that. And then, it didn't. And I remember getting ghosted pretty much by the first guy that I kind of dated, and just experiencing such rejection, and it hurt so bad. And I didn't realize at the time that when somebody does something like that to you, it has everything to do with that person and not you. But I took it so personally. I thought, what is wrong with me?
I mean, everything you're saying has come such a fucking long way. I love everything that you're saying. I mean, we said it I don't know if this is going to air before or after what you and me and everyone else did the other day, but I talked about it on then, like anything that goes wrong, if you fix internally, it'll come out externally. Like it's all here. Once you get it inside and, you feel good about things, that's what you will attract. You will attract those good things. You don't feel as good, then all of a sudden more madness happens, it seems like. So it's always outside.
Swipe wrong. Swipe wrong.